Alright, let's get started with a little tutorial about Project 2 for digital image design. Go to your file, open, and yours is going to be actually the C drive or something like that. Mine is called the free agent drive. Open that C drive wherever you put it, System C, Disk C, whatever that yours might be. Go to your Profiles folder. If you set yours up correctly, it'll be in the Profiles folder. Then your name, I happen to have mine, Mr. Ranking, then GIMP Resources, and now we're on Project 2. So I'll open that, and we'll just go ahead and use image 1, which is the piggy bank. First thing you want to do is create a new layer. So over here in my layers box, you'll see right now I just have a background layer. So if I come over here and go to Layer, New Layer, I just want to make sure this one is transparent, and also we're going to title this one Line because we're going to put line on this one. So I'm going to say OK, and now I have a transparent layer called Line. Next you're going to want to get a paintbrush that has a medium size. If I'm looking over here, click on paintbrush. Down here is all your different sizes. To look at them, click on that corner, and right in here I've got a small, very small brush and a very big brush. Somewhere in the middle would be a nice medium sized paintbrush right here. So we'll click on that, make sure that we have that for our size. Once you have your brush set, the next thing is you're going to trace around your object. So using that brush, you're going to trace around all your objects and make sure that your line layer is clicked, not the background layer, because if you have the background layer clicked, it's going to put the actual lines on it. But we want to create just a line layer. So I'm going to start in the corner. This will test your patience to see how good you are with your mouse. And I don't expect these to be perfect. If you'll notice, mine is far from being perfect. So take your time, take your patience. If you're so fortunate that you have a Wacom tablet, then you can use that. That's just a drawing tablet. Might make things easier for you. You don't have to draw every single line, but try to draw the most detailed lines. So just trace around your object and find what you feel are the most important. You may also want to change the size of your brushes. Honestly, I think that one's a little bit too big. I'm going to go a little bit smaller, and now I'm going to trace around the pig. So I'm going to find this ear. We'll go on off on this. Again, I don't expect these lines to be perfect because it's not an easy challenge. It is pretty tough to draw these in all the way around and do a perfect job. It's not like holding a pencil or a pen. I mean, I can actually draw pretty good, but this is kind of tough. But again, I don't expect to see anything perfect. You can always go back and change things if you don't like something. You can always go back and change it with either your edit undo. And notice undos will just go back. This is going to take a bunch of line here because whenever you click to there is one undo. If you make a really long line and then do the undo, it's liable to really take back a bunch of your lines. Now if we just click on that, you'll notice there's what my line drawing looks like. I can get that layer back, and if I can take that one off too. Every time you click the eyeball next to that layer determines what you're seeing. Some of the criteria for this assignment is to make sure that you use different size brushes. So it's probably not a bad idea to even come back in and use your really, really small brush to paint some of these areas back in as well. So I've got a really small brush there. You can't even hardly see that one. You may want to go a little bit bigger. But if you want to put some more detail lines, vary the size of your brush. I'm going to come back in and put some smaller detail lines in like so. And that'll get you more points. The more details that you put in and the variety of lines that you put in will also get you more points. So just switch your brushes around, try to put some more detail in. I'm going to stop there with my line for now. Once you have your lines drawn, now we're going to actually add another layer. It's going to be a color layer. So go to Layer, New Layer, And let's just label this one color. And also make sure it's a transparent background. Click OK. Now you've got another layer for color. To switch your colors, this is normally your foreground color here. You can click on it. A little window will come up with different colors. If you want red, you can go to different tints and shades of red. But pick your color that you would like. This is your current color right here. I'm going to go with something like this. I want my pig to be a little bit more red. So I'm going to say OK there. Now with my paintbrush, I am now going to be able to paint colors with that line. So around here you can go around and paint around the edges of your lines. I want a little bit bigger brush for this, probably back even a little bit bigger than we started with. And I'm going to paint his nose in just a little bit darker than it was before. Trying to stay inside the lines. Now you will find out that we can rearrange these later and we can put that line back on top. I want to change colors again. I want to go a little bit lighter this time. Something like that. And I'm going to paint in some other areas of my pig, like this area. Maybe this area up in here of the pig's ear. Look for different areas that you can paint different colors. Fill those in. I want to show you a really nice thing real quick is if I move my line layer above the color, look how it went over the top of my coloring there. There's a difference there, and when I actually go along the edge, like right here, it won't go over my line like it was before. So I can color that in also. So color in your different areas. I'm going to pause this recording as I do that, as I keep changing colors, but you'll color in your entire pig or whatever your drawing might be, like so. Just to save time on the recording, I'm going to go ahead and finish coloring and then we'll come back. Once you have your object entirely painted in, you're also going to need to create a background layer. So let's go to Layer, New Layer, and again, just type in Background Layer. And make sure it's transparent also. Once you have your background layer up put in, make sure you drop it down below everything else, below your line and color. Then you can take your paint bucket and fill in your background with whatever color you may want. I'm going to go with something like into the blues, something like that, say OK, and then click on the background and it'll fill in everything that you haven't painted. Now I can see now I should probably go back in and fill all those spots that I missed in my different color. I go back to my color layer and paint those in. So this is basically how you do this assignment. Color it in, outline it, outline, color in, fill in your background. You should have 3 layers: line, color, background. Make sure you save this as a XCF file. I would like to see all of that. So if you're not sure how to save them, remember, look for the file extension, select file type, save as an XCF file. And I'm going to save it back into that folder, and then it'll be ready to turn in. Now you have to do 2 of these. So find a different picture, whether it's a cell phone picture, some other object of your own if you want, and do the same exact thing and turn in 2 files, 2 XCF files. If you have any questions, please email.